How to survive a toxic work environment without going crazy? That's a good question. Toxic coworkers or toxic boss can ruin not only your career, but also your life. Being in a toxic environment for a long time reduces self-esteem, takes away self-confidence, and disappoints in the profession. A stressful atmosphere in the office can negatively affect your health. Insomnia, loss of appetite, irritation, emotional burnout, chronic fatigue syndrome, depression is the incomplete list of the consequences you can face. Now I give you 5 top tips on how to survive a toxic office environment. You will hear the best advice at the end of this video. The top survival tip number 5. Distance yourself. Distancing is a working option, especially for people with strong sense of justice who cares a lot, even if the situation does not concern them. Buy noise reduction earphones so you don't have to hear the discussions. It should be easier this way. Turn off the sound in informal work chats. If possible, sit away. Finally, remember that you are not responsible for the behavior of your colleagues. While you're still working in this team, you need to protect yourself somehow. You are not a family, but just strangers, fellow travelers on your career path. Top survival tip number 4. Find a safe place. If you hear a lot of praise from your colleagues, then this is a wonderful team. But in reality, employees are much more likely to wash each other's bones, look for flaws, and gossip. As a result, the office turns into a battlefield, and you don't allow yourself to relax even for a second. You're forced to constantly monitor your behavior so that your actions are not misinterpreted and everything you say is not used against you. Working in such a stressful environment is not so easy, so try to find a shelter in case it becomes completely unbearable. This can be a room with a coffee machine or a corner behind a ficus tree, where you will have the opportunity to take a breath. The top survival tip number 3. Find like-minded people. There are companies where the team spends a significant part of their time not on work, but on intrigue, and are looking for the opportunities to frame each other. Such an environment will be unbearable for people who are not ready to play by these rules. No matter what a good person you are, you will be at the bottom of the office hierarchy due to the fact that you are unsuccessful in the funny business. It happens that no one notices your successes, but everyone strives to point out your mistakes. Sometimes criticism turns into bullying. For example, in response to any idea, you get sarcasm and bad comments. And your boss is not criticizing your work, but criticizing you. Probably you can find several pleasant people among your colleagues. Communicating with them will help a little to brighten up the unpleasant environment. They will also remind you that you are not alone in this world, because good people are as common as bad people. The top survival tip number 2. Separate your work from your personal life. Mobbing, the harassment of a person in a work team, is a common problem. Even if the victim of bullying is not you, but someone else, the relationship in the team is not healthy. Not only the outcast gets negative emotions in the atmosphere of harassment. Moreover, if the poor soul resigns, it is highly likely that the team will simply find a new victim. Don't let the toxic environment poison your personal free hours. Draw a boundary between these two worlds. Try not to think about work in your free time. Don't take work home. Don't answer work calls. Don't read work chats. It's not easy, but it's necessary. The best survival tip: resign. Usually the toxic office atmosphere is even more oppressive, because it seems like there is no way out. At work, you get paid the money you live on, so you can't just leave. This gives you the feeling that you're stuck here forever. In fact, this is just a job. It is only part of your life, which does not define you. Therefore, you can pay a little less attention to what is happening. And the loss of your current job most likely will not be a disaster. This advice should not be taken as a recommendation to apply for dismissal tomorrow or today. But the search for a new job will have to be included in the plan to save yourself from toxic colleagues. Fighting an unhealthy environment is often a road to nowhere. Therefore, it will be logical to head not to victory, but to another company. These were the top 5 tips on how to survive in a toxic office environment. If you're looking for more useful information, watch this video with 5 ideas of how to get rid of chronic fatigue syndrome for good.